This is the shiur is Parashat Vayeira. Is first of all לרפואה שלמה of Mazal Bat Leah and Chaim Israel Alevi Ben Batya. Also להצלחה of our dear friend and member here, Rabbi Yonatan Ben Ahamim, for him bringing us wonderful children and kugel. You know, I read the parashiot of, especially this. I mean, first of all, we know that Sefer Bereshit is divided by sections of two parashiot at a time. Every two parashiot talks about a figure, a topic, and so on and so forth. And I always say, you know, it's such a shame that the Torah does not elaborate a little bit more about Avraham Avinu. He did this. He liked to eat that. You know. I mean, it's just very, very specific things. There are two parashiot, two portions that we read about Avraham Avinu, then it's out of the scene. It always kind of bothers me. I'd like to know more about him. But the Torah does not tell us stories. It's not a folklore collection of legends and so on and so forth, but rather something that has to do with the essence and the way of life. And I think it comes to play such a big role, specifically in this portion of the Torah that we're going to read this week. Avraham Avinu, in a way, does things here, or showing us things here that could really make a huge difference in our lives. In Perek Yudchet, thank you. It's okay. Thanks. In Perek Yudchet, there is a verse that says, Mahari shalosh seim kemach solet lushi v'asiu god. What does it mean? He says to Abraham, says to Sarah, hurry up, take 3 measures of flour, actually farina, make dough, and make bread out of it. That short verse that Avraham Avinu tells Sarah when those guests came, the Maharam Elshech, which we're going to deal mostly with, the whole shiur is based on idea that the Maharam Elshech says that there are 2 main principles in fulfilling the mitzvot, the commandments, and has a direct implication to our lives and the way we do things about life. Just from that verse. In the actions of Avraham, or the way Avraham Avinu acts, we see right away a certain quality that he has. And in Hebrew we call it zrizut. Zrizut is not just quickness, zrizut is agility, is ability to do things in a certain fashion. And because regarding Avraham Avinu, it says, for example, Vayeira vayaretz likratam. He saw and he ran to them. Hey, guys, don't forget, Avraham Avinu is about 100 years old.
He just got a brit milah.
And he just got a brit milah. Yes, we were just circumcised. Then it says, Vayemaer Avraham. And Avraham rushed. Ve'el habakar ratz Avraham. Again, he's running. He's running to get. Sit here, tatale. You know, he's running to get the veal ready. He runs there. Vayemaer la'asot oto. And he hurried up to do it. According to Maharam Elshech, this expression Vayemaer la'asot oto refers to Avraham Avinu, not to his boy. Avraham Avinu did that. But in the words that Avraham Avinu speaks to Sarah, there is a different, completely aspect about the quality of the midah of what we call zrizut. And Maharam Elshech says the following. By the way, there's Chulent and Kugel here, thanks to Rabbi Yonatan. Maharam Elshech says the following. וגם בדברו אליה לא אמר לושי במהרה. He didn't say, make it quick. And he says, כי אם טרם גלותו הציווי, before he told her what to do, He says to her, Mahari, listen, gotta do it quick. Sarah could have said, what should I be doing? He says, Mahari. In other words, to tell us, as Maharam Mashiach says, Ki kodem kol davar tasim neged panea hazrizut v'meirut. In other words, before she's going to do anything, she needs to understand that it needs to be done in an agile way. It needs to be quick and no time to waste. Then we're going to talk to you about what to do. But first you got to understand that needs to be done, and needs to be done quick. And after that, he says, comes the tzivui. And of course, why to do it quick? Why should I make it quick? Avraham pushed Sarah to do it quick because he told the guest the following: Ekacha pat lechem v'sa'adu libchem. I'm going to take a little bit of bread, and then you're going to make you feel comfortable. So look what he's saying here. He told him right away, I'm going to take a little bread, I'm going to do it like this. But that's completely different than what Avraham Avinu did. And Maharam Mashiach says, Amar lefayes otam min hamuchan ve'akayam. First of all, he says, he knows what he has in his stockpile. He knows what he has in his pantry. So he says, guys, sit down here. No, we're on a rush. It's okay, guys, sit down. I give you something small, something snack to eat. I'll take some bread that I have ready over there, and I'm going to give it to you. Ve'af hem osifu v'diiku, and then they also, the malachim, the angels, the guests, say, Ken ta'aseh kasher dibata. Okay, gesundheit, go ahead, do as you said. Okay? And the word, the emphasis is on the word dibarta, you said. Now pay attention. When it says dibarta, in other words, they don't want him to go out of his way. They don't want him to bother so much. And they said, it's okay for us to have a little snack of bread, call it the peanut butter jelly, argument's sake. It's okay for us to have this. You don't have to go out of your way. We'll take some sliced bread, put some peanut butter and jelly. We're good to go. That's okay. Thank you so much. And here Avraham came and completely changed everything. He took call it the peanut butter sandwich, and he already upgraded it to a whole feast. He made a feast, and that's why he need to do so quickly and without any kind of hesitation or wasting time and so on and so forth. And how did he say it to the Sarah? How did he say it to Sarah? Again, the way he tells Sarah is very strange. He says shalosh se'im, and I have a typo. He says shalosh se'im. Tells her right away. A se'ah is what a person eats. So take 3 portions for 3 adults. Shalosh se'im. And now, how are you going to take it? You're going to take it from the best flour. Solet is the most refined flour. It's just to take some kind of whole wheat flour with who knows pebbles inside, whatever. Take from the best. Take a portion, each one should have enough, and take from the best flour. And it says, and how is it called? Kemach solet. After that, he says, knead the dough, but don't wait for it to rise. Knead the dough, don't wait for it to rise. Asi ogot. מה זה עוגה? עוגה, לעוג is a cake. Why we call it cake? Because it's a circle. What bread do we know is a circle? In other words, basically said, listen, can't take this, make a simple pita. If you know, to make pita is very easy. I don't know if you guys make pita at home. My wife makes the best pitas at home. There's nothing like a fresh pita at home. I love when my wife makes pita at home. When I was able to eat the cheese, to take some fresh feta cheese, olive oil, some tomato, some vegetables like this. You dip it like this. Oh, it's delicious. There's nothing like fresh pita. So he said, don't take, because if you're going to start waiting for it to rise, I need to push it down, I need to take an hour, then I push it down, I need to wait another hour, then it's to rise again. The time will go. These people are hungry. There's no time. Take from the best, but make it quick. He's talking to her in codes, which is fantastic. So here is also a special limud on how to us to interact. So first of all, ha'oreach, right? A guest should not demand a lot, and he should be very content with whatever anybody puts him on the table. You don't say, oh man, I went to this house, why did they give me some, whatever. Whatever they give you, thank you very much, somebody shares. By the way, that's the whole thing about the old world when we don't have today. I remember, and my grandmother, Aleh Shalom, when guests used to come to her house, and that was every day, because the neighbors used to get around and they used to sit down and read Me'am Loez and tell stories like this. Right away, it doesn't make a difference. Somebody comes to the house, right away you give him a glass of water, you make coffee, give him something sweet to eat. That's cookies or whatever, marmalade they used to make. Right away. Today you come to somebody's house, you can sit there for an hour, and they don't even offer you a cup of water. Not even a cup of water. And then you wonder why you're alone. So, that's the guest. Whatever is simple, it's good. Say thank you very much. The guy is giving you something of his and is sharing with you. On the other hand, the host always should try to at least convince the people, to seduce the people, right? At least have something, but then always do more. I just gave you something small. And then I remember this by my parents. My parents used to have friends, right? And I remember as a kid, my father's friends from the army used to come. They used to come like 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. Oh, well, what's the matter? Well, we're coming here, we're stopping by, we're coming to eat something or drink something. Before you know, my mother always in the freezer had frozen borekas that she would make. Right away she will go in and there will be a feast. They will just sit down eat like that. So always as a host, even though he says, oh, does it give you something small? Go out of your way. Open your heart to somebody else. But when you do so, always try to give them, to upgrade it. Give him from the best and give him from whatever is fresh. That's a tremendous musar for us because call it the art of hosting or being a guest is lost from the Western world. Today you would live in an apartment building, needless to say in a house, but you live in the apartment building, you don't even know who lives next door to you. You don't even know who lives next door to you. Needless to say, you ever offer him a cup of water or sit down, hey guys, you want to have a coffee together. So, of course, we all know that we need to get ready to do the mitzvah and to do it the most possible way like Avraham Avinu did. But Avraham Avinu was teaching here something else also. Not only to do it quick, but also to prepare to the way the mitzvah is going to, or in other words, to appropriately prepare yourself to the way the mitzvah is going to be done or is going to happen. You need to think about also how you're going to do it. And what's your attitude towards the mitzvah? Why? Because the act of the mitzvah needs to be done in zrizut, in quickness, in agility. You also need to therefore prepare yourself for such quickness and such agility. In other words, you have to start thinking like this. One thing for sure, and we'll see it Bezat Hashem later on, people who are procrastinators usually have problems doing mitzvot. And if you're going to ask me why, so we'll see soon how. So before Sarah even started to do the mitzvah, even before she knew, now pay attention to the word mitzvah because I might have a new concept for you to understand what mitzvah is all about. Before she even knew what the mitzvah was, she was already asked to, listen, whatever I'm going to tell you, you're going to do it quickly. You're going to do it pronto. That's why he didn't tell Avraham, did not tell Sarah, Lushi bimhera, need it quickly. He said to her, quickly, and that's what you're going to do. He changed the order for that. In other words, get ready to do this mitzvah quickly. That's mitzvah that I'm about to tell you. So after this preparation to do this mitzvah bezrizut, then Avraham Avinu continues and he says, which mitzvah you need to do quickly. And then he says to her, Shalosh seim kemach lushi v'asi ugot. But first of all, you go, mahari, hurry up. In other words, get up now. So the words of Avraham Avinu to Sarah, Shalosh seim kemach lushi v'asi ugot, also are kind of weird. And why are they weird? Did you ever think about what is Avraham doing here? Avraham Avinu What, is he coming to tell Sarah a recipe how to make challah? What is he doing, like a Parashat challah here? You know, we're going to do this. We're going to do. Sarah, a man who knows how to make bread. Why do you need to tell her? Take salt. Take the manna. You have to knead it. But Sarah doesn't know that you need to knead to make dough, how to make dough. You know, I don't understand that. Why are you telling her that? So for that, the Al-Sheikh says something else. So before the Al-Sheikh tells us what your attitude needs to be towards mitzvah. But he continues here and he says the following. Ve'ala shenit, and I'm quoting, Amar Lushi, ve'u besum lev el omro Lushi, and he emphasized, Lushi! Ki ha'im lelamda seder asiyat apad ba? Why he's coming to teach her how to make bread? Ki mi lo yodea shalidei lisha yaseu got. Who doesn't know? Well, maybe today, because there are women who will go to the supermarket and will take like frozen dough and they make challah like this frozen. I mean, nu bemet. I mean, I understand if you are like going to, you know what, even if you're going on a 4x4 trail, you should be able to make your own bread by yourself in your Dutch oven. Hello, Mr. Z. By the way, did you ever make bread like this on a campfire? No, you didn't.
I didn't.
Don't call yourself an outdoorsman until you know how to do that. If you want to come, I'll show you later. I know how to make 2 different types of bread, either one in a Dutch oven and one in a skillet. And you should also learn how to make biscuits in a Dutch oven. It's on a fire. It's the best ever, best ever. Now. It says, but rather the Maharam Al-Sheikh says, this is the second principle in making a mitzvah, fulfilling a commandment that we need to learn from Avraham Avinu, and that's what the Al-Sheikh says, and I'm quoting. And he says, Ach kevan al tomri, right? He said to her, you do it. Because why? Don't say, Hine shifchati Hagar, here's my maid Hagar, and her fellow maiden, and they're going to do so. One is going to sift the flour, the other one is going to mix the water, the other one is going to knead the thing, and we're going to get it ready quickly. No, he said to her, no. Al ken amar elea ochazi b'mitzvah al yadech. Do the mitzvah by yourself. Why? You, Lushi, you should knead the dough, and you should make the bread. In a way, as they say, you're making me hot just wearing this jacket. Why don't you take it out a little bit? Not only the crunching of the bagels, but the jacket. Just take your jacket up. Right? As we say, mitzvah bo yoter mi beshlucho. That's right. When you're about to do a mitzvah, it's a better way to do so when you do it and you don't nominate another person to do your mitzvah. Mitzvah bo yoter mi beshlucho. And that's why he's telling her, listen, Sarai Menu was a queen. She had maids. He says, no, but when it comes to mitzvah, you do it first. And we see a similar idea when it comes to halachot Shabbat. When it comes to Shabbat, he says, that Shulchan Aruch says, even if a person has servants and he's a rich man, he should still roll his sleeves and do something in helping for Dichvot Shabbat Kodesh. Yeah, I'm a rich man. I bidi dam. Do something about your table. Do something about the floor. Do something for Shabbat. And it's a tremendous thing. It's a tremendous thing. Avraham added the word Lushi not to teach Sarah how to make dough, how to make the bread, but rather to show her that she herself should do so. And according to that, the action of kneading the dough is not the main focal point of the commandment, but rather who is going to do it. And he says you should do it. And it says Sarah, of course, yes, as we said, Sarah had maidens, but he said to her, "Ochazi b'mitzvah zo al yedei atzmech ki at lushi vegam aseit harugot." So therefore, you make sure you're going to do the whole process from beginning to an end, quick, beginning to an end, all by yourself, not anybody else. And a person can find many messengers and many other ways for other to do the mitzvot for him that he himself is commended by. But the guidance that we get here, the learning that we have from this thing, is that you need to do what you need to do and don't wait for anybody else to do your job. It's your commandment, your mitzvah. Amen. So let's say, for example, talk about, take any mitzvah, right? You could be mekayem mitzvat av v'em, that you go in and you take care of your parents, you send them some Filipino from Thailand, and they come in and they nurse your parents, and you just pay for it. That's nice. That's nice. Of course, it's nice. But isn't it better that you take care of your own parents? Can you just move this over there, please? Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So, as these are the two learning that we actually learn from Maharam Alshech. He shows us the two good ways in which a person should approach doing every mitzvah by itself. The first one is the zrizut, to do it quickly, to do it, hastily, not without any delay, or as they say, without further ado. And the second one, that everything that you could do by yourself, you should do by yourself. Don't let anybody else to do so. And by the way, this is why many times you guys ask me, listen, I'm busy right now. I have a worker that can build the sukkah. Can my worker build the sukkah for me? And I'll tell you, what's the matter? Can't you build yourself? It's a mitzvah. Why do you want somebody else to do it for you? You do it yourself. You take care of it. By the way, of course, it's always a very good example to show your children how things needs to be done. And you should, at home also, when you have kids, or those of you who do have kids, you can have a maid to come in and they clean for you. But why? Let's say you have the money, but what lesson do you teach your kids by having a maid that cleans after them instead of them picking up the stuff themselves? And how your kids were supposed to know? Well, you show them an example. You pick it up yourself. You start picking up yourself, and then you tell your kid, hey, who wants to help mommy clean the kitchen? Who wants to help me take the garbage out? Who wants to help me do this? And you show an example, and you show that it's not a problem, and they will do. And as a kid, believe me, kids will rise to the occasion. But when you have a maid that comes in and you pay her good money, and the kids learn to become slobs, and then they're going to have miserable life. You know why? Because you taught them wrong. Actually, you didn't teach them anything. Not you taught them. You didn't teach them anything. And that's something that we need to address. We must address that. And that's something that we have to do with the attitude. I mean, I'm sure that there are many mitzvot that you can think of that by all means you don't want anybody else to do it for you. You want to do it yourself. Right? But that's only very particular mitzvot. The rest of the mitzvot, if you could do it by somebody else, you would do it somebody else. If somebody else could put filling for you, you would do it. I'm busy. Somebody else put filling for me. Yeah, can you do it too? I'll pay you. Or how about learning? How about learning? You learn, I'll pay you. I'll get, how about learning? Sit down and learn yourself. You're a mitzvah also. Do you want your son to come to you when he's going to be 20, 25, 30 years old, says, honey, you want to hang around? We'll go together, we'll have a beer. I said, Daddy, don't worry about it. I'll send somebody else. I'll send one of my workers to sit down and drink coffee with you. I don't have time for you, Dad. Right? Remember? Now, if we're going to expand just a little bit about Zrizut, the Mechilta expressed to us the following, and this is very essential. The Mechilta explained to us on the quality of the Zrizut. He says, "V'kacha tochlu oto." This is how you're going to eat it, right? When it talks about eating. Keyotzei drachim. The people are on, people that are on a run, like a driver. You go in, and, right? You have to eat it. Like when it comes to, let's say, Korban Pesach, you have to eat it quickly. You can't so take your time like this. And it says, Rabbi Yossi Aglili Omer, Ba Katuv Lelamdenu. Rabbi Yossi Aglili says, this verse comes to teach us, Derech Eretz Min HaTorah Al Yotzei Drachim. the way to behave about people who are traveling all the time. Shiyu mezurazim. That's in Parashat Bo. In other words, all your actions that you do, you need to do like a person that was on the move. Let's say you're on a run. You don't have some time now to. I remember my wife she still tells me, says, "Listen, you're not in the army. Slow down when you eat." When I was in the Air Force, you don't have like all the luxury to eat. Like you go on your lunch break to have an hour lunch break. You go over there, have your little beer. We didn't have time. 15, 20 minutes, you in and out, and that included waiting for the food to come to you. So what do I do? I sit down, I eat, and that's it. I concentrate only on eating. But if you look at your phone, it will take you about an hour. What am I doing now? I'm eating. Okay, so I'm going to eat, and when I'm done. I don't shove the food in my mouth, but when I eat, I only eat. I don't do 50 other things. It's a habit that you learn. You need to learn how to do so. So when you are traveling, you're going on a road, and you need to reach a certain destination, you don't have time now to sit down, let's have a little espresso, let's go like this, come on, let's get something on the road, like a drive-in. Let's get something to eat, and then we're actually going to eat while we're driving. Right? So the Mechilta says this is how you should conduct your business. Get over what you need to get over with, or just get on with it. The Sifri brings the following. Rabbi Yehuda ben Betera says, En atzivui bechol makom el ziruz. Every time there is a commandment, it means it doesn't tell you just what to do. Every time he says veitzav et, means you have to do it bezrizut. Sheneemar, because it says veitzav et Yehoshua vechaskeu ve'alzeu. Do it quickly. Don't wait around to nominate your predecessor. Just do it quickly. And then and how are you going to do it? You're going to give him strength, and you're going to give him courage, and so on and so forth. So you need to hurry up on that. Don't just, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. Because what will happen tomorrow? Maybe you'll die tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe it's not going to come to it. And then all of a sudden you're creating chaos. You're leaving the people without a leader, without a head. And there's going to be a problem. So take care of things. And by the way, guys, that's another musa for us. Some of you, Baruch Hashem, are young. But whether you're young or not, so first of all, I'll tell you the following. Start saving for your pension. Start putting money away for your retirement. It doesn't make a difference if you have a part-time job or you have a full-time job. It doesn't make a difference. Take X amount of money, put it for your retirement. You know why? Because you're going to procrastinate on it, and then you're going to be 50 years old without a penny to your name to retire. So that's first of all. Second, once you get married and so on and so forth, you should make a will, because you don't know what's going to happen. Don't delay that. Have a will. And the will be a guarantee for you to have, Bezat Hashem, long and happy life. Always have a will. We don't know what's going to happen. Don't say, I'll do it. The same thing about learning. Don't say, when I'm going to make the next turn, I'm going to sit down and learn. Because who knows, maybe you're going to make the next turn, and that's going to be your last turn. You're not going to be able to time to learn. So there is a mitzvah opportunity coming to you, especially those of you who are young, who come here to learn. Don't say, okay, when I retire, I'll do so. Who said you're going to make it to retirement? And how are you going to come to Olam Haba? Empty? There is an opportunity for you to learn now. Don't waste it. Including to live your life. Don't waste your time saying, when I retire, I'm going to go on trips. When I retire, I'll do this. Because you're going to come to retire, and you're not going to be able to do so. I guarantee you that. See me on that, I can tell you this in first hand. Okay? So now, and it says, "Lefi darkenu lemedim she'en mechaskim ela mechuzakim ve'em mezazim ela mezurazim." In other words, you have to apply that knowledge for the people who are appropriate for that. Don't waste your time on people that are not ready to do it. Yes, what the Sifri is telling us here, put your effort on those who will be worthy of your effort. Don't waste your time and your effort on those who are not worthy of your effort. Don't. Help those who want to be helped. Don't help those who just want attention. That's not help. That's not help. And that's wrong to do. And I can tell you this in first hand as well. The Midrash Rabbah brings on Midat HaZrizut the following. Tani Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, Ma'u Moshe, when Moshe was going to the sneh, right? God called him, he says, Moshe. The whole Zohar is the whole thing. But over there it says, Leshon Chiba, Leshon Ziruz. No, Moshe, no, yalla, shal na'alecha me'al raglecha. Come on, take it. We have, Am Yisrael needs to do the Geulah. Don't say, okay, excuse me, what is this? Can I call my wife first to see before I'm coming to closer to Hashem? I say, I need to call my wife first? No. Zariz, tizdarez. Quick. There's a mitzvah, a great mitzvah to do. In Masechet Shofrim it says, "Velo yu manichim b'neim ktanim achareim." They would not leave the young children behind them. אלא היו מוליכים אותם לבתי כנסיות כדי לזרזן במצוות. People would go to shul, they used to make sure to bring the kids to shul as well. Of course, they would not let the kids run around, or they would have some babysitter in shul to take care of them when their wife is sleeping until 10 o'clock in the morning. And they have some babysitter here in the shul to take care of your kids. But rather to properly educate your son, to be zariz mitzvot, you take your son with you. And by the way, they did not have 9 o'clock minyan on Shabbos back then. You're going to sit down with your son to be mezarez oto mitzvot, so he'll understand what a shul is, he'll understand what it means to call, and it will be a nature to him. So lezarez mitzvot. So again, you have to take care of it. He says, don't leave him behind. You're going to take care of your kid. And how are you going to do so? Lechanech otam b'mitzvot. You can educate your son. In other words, so therefore you cannot educate your son when you are lethargic about something. You cannot educate your son to learn Torah when you don't learn Torah. You can educate your son to do anything when you don't do it. Don't be surprised. Somebody once told me this years ago. He says, you should remember that whatever you'll do, your son will do more than you. Which direction you will choose to go, or you want your son to go, depends on where you're going to go. So if you're going to be frum, there's a great chance your son will be frumer than you, and if you're not, he's going to be a bigger apikoros than you. So you got to be very careful. And that's all because of Rizut. Now, the Sfat Emet says here something beautiful. The Sfat Emet says, it says, every time we say Tetzaveh, Lashon Ziruz. Kmo shene'emar, because it says, Tzav uziruz miyad veledorot. When it says Tzav et bnei Yisrael va'amarta lahem et korbanit, it means you have to be quick about it now. Don't delay this shiur that you're going to give to bnei Yisrael. Do it now, and this thing is going to be also for further generation up by giving them the importance of that midah. Pirush, he says, shekol ma'aseh shena'asa bezrizut rabotai. This is so fantastic, the Sfat Emet. Sfas Emes. Anything that you do with agility, with quickness, with the proper attitude, hu davar shel kaima, it's going to last. If you procrastinate and you do things, halfway, and your attitude, if you did the whole thing, but your attitude is wrong about it. Have somebody have to tell you, no, did you do your homework? No. Did you get up in the morning? No. Did you learn the Rashi? No. That's not going to last. But if you are rushing to do it, you want to do it quickly. Sasino anochia limratecha kemotze shalal rav. When do we say that? We said it on the Brit Milah. When the father comes to bring his son, he says, Sasani limratecha, I'm rejoicing on your commandments like I found a great bounty. Go run to it. Run to do the mitzvah. Be very happy to do it. First of all, you should be very thankful. Goodness gracious, you should be so thankful that you can walk 2-3 blocks and you have a shul. I mean, how many shuls do you want in a thing? You have plenty of shuls around. How lucky you are. So it should not be so hard for you to go to shul. I have a neighbor that is very hard for him, like a year or something ago, had a stroke. Very hard for him to walk. He goes with a thing. He pushes himself up the hill. He would not miss a minyan, this guy. What an inspiration. It's a yofi. What a wonderful thing. Well, you should see how his grandkids are looking at him now. And that's amazing. So it's in mitkayem. So even the education of your kids, if you are very quick on it, if you take it seriously, the chinuch of your children will be mitkayem, will sustain itself. Your Torah would sustain. If you're coming, argument to come to learn in Yeshiva, you're coming to do your daf yomi, and you say, oh goodness, I hate to do this. It's not going, your Torah that you learn is not going to stay with you. is not going to stay. Look forward to come for another day. They would stay. You want bracha in your parnasa? Get up in the morning. Looking forward for another day. Be positive. That would sustain itself. If not, it will crumble. Guys, I guarantee you that. So if you, for example, have school, I don't know, college work to do, don't wait until 2 days after the due date to really push yourself. You stay up all night and you drink 50 cups of coffee. You got it? Start working it the day you get it. Don't leave it to the end. Procrastination is a disease. It's a disease that at the end is going to make you into a horrible person. I'm telling you, that's for sure. Now, and it says, V'zeu, and that's what it means, Ve'ata tetzaveh, and you will command them. Also on the midah of zrizut, sheikanes midat zrizut belev bnei Yisrael, that quality of agility, of doing things quickly, to look forward, to get up and do things, they shall be in the heart of Am Yisrael. Guys, you saw what happened after this horrible event by those barbarian beasts, in October 7th. How Am Yisrael did not waste a second. Everybody was giving stuff. Everybody was doing stuff. That's the midah. That's the beauty, by the way, of Am Yisrael. The beauty of Am Yisrael is they're willing to help their friend, the other Jew, before they're willing to help themselves. The zariz be'asiyat mitzvah. And that's why Am Yisrael, we cannot judge it. Shomer Shabbat, not Shomer Shabbat. Because we, as you could see, we are all in this together. As you could see, the quality of a Jew to be willing to give his life for the life of the other without even thinking about it, when he could have saved himself, he's mekayem not only kiddush Hashem, he's mekayem at that moment the whole Torah kula, because he did so full-heartedly. Ve'afta l'reacha kamocha. As a matter of fact, Am Yisrael goes above and beyond, and many times, and you saw it this time, and you see it now. Those people who fought, those people who went in again and again and again, were willing to do ve'afta l'reacha yoter mimecha. They didn't think about themselves. They think about how to help the other person. And that comes from those years of thousands of years of doing midat zrizut into Am Yisrael. Usually, people who deceive, people who want to break apart, these are the people who usually feel the most entitled. You look around. Those people who are lazy, they don't want to do anything, they don't want to get freebies. They're usually the people who try to break away everything because they don't want to do anything. That's usually, it goes hand in hand. And that's what I mean, that you become a horrible person. You don't have this result. If you are busy doing stuff, you don't have time for manipulation and all kind of garbage like that. You want to do things, come on, we have work to do. Everybody wants Mashiach. You're opening books, you're reading this, you're reading that. Shtuyot, you want Mashiach, not a problem. Don't be selfish. Put Am Yisrael together. Put yourself behind and do what you need to do. Roll your sleeve and don't think about it. Be zariz. Get up. Change your attitude. Mashiach is not going to come until we're going to change our attitudes. And we need to understand that. And he says, Ki mizrizut mevi'ah leidei chasidut. If you want to be pious with God, first of all, you have to be quick and agile about it. Ve'ikar zrizut ba, and the main way, the fastest highway to reach this midah of zrizut, according to the Sfat Emet, is al yedei simcha, by having joy. She'adam zocher kama ma'asav magi'im ad lashamayim. A person needs to, if you are not happy, if you are not rejoicing, sasimrati, if you are a bitter person, you're not going to have this midah, you're going to be a bitter person, your actions are not going to go anywhere. He says, Al yedeh she'adam zocher kama ma'asav magi'im ad lashamayim. V'haemet, and the truth is, ki achna yetza lezeh. Achna means, don't be selfish. Be humble. Be humble. Humble yourself. There's nothing, I don't say don't have a backbone. Humble yourself. You don't need to be arrogant. You want kavod? I'll tell you what Rabbi Chaim Falachi alav shalom used to say. When somebody says to him, Rabbenu Agadol, Arav Agadol, Patish Ha'imani, Nesher HaZak, he says, Lecha Hashem, Agvura, Gdola, V'Tiferet. All the glory is to Hashem, not to me. All the glory is to Hashem, not to me. Ma'ani. And by the way, because of that, He says when it's time to do the Seudah the Seudah on Shamayim, who makes the Birkat HaMazon? David HaMelech. David HaMelech. Why? Because David HaMelech said, אני תולעת, I'm nothing. But I understand, even though I'm so unworthy, how much good you did to me. Hello, Yeshua. How much good you did with me. And that's why David HaMelech says this. And this Sfat Emet, I mean, guys, this Sfat Emet is amazing. So we had the Mechilta, we had the Sifri, right? We spoke about the Elshech. We said for Masechet Sofrim. But now comes the Ochot Tzadikim, and this brings something very, very interesting. He says, Hazrizut im ma'ala gdola la Torah. In Parashat Zechor, over there, he says, if you want to reach a great level in Torah, you're going to be zariz. Therefore, if you are a procrastinator, you're never going to reach any level of Torah whatsoever. Nothing. Because you need to work hard, you need to be quick about it. Who's banging the table all the time? So, it says, La Torah vela mitzvot. So therefore, what you get from this? If you don't have zrizut, you're not going to be able to do mitzvot a lot. And if you're not going to do mitzvot a lot, guess what happened? You're falling off the derech. You're falling off the path. V'gam letakanat ha'olam hazeh. Also to fix this world. You want to fix this world, you got to have zrizut. So therefore, when you're a procrastinator and you do things a lot, you're actually being in destruction to the world. You're not fixing the world, you're destroying the world. And that is the midah of tzaddikim. And by doing so, you can actually reach a level that you're saying, I'm doing avodat haborei. I'm doing God's work. You cannot do God's work if you are not quick and you're not agile and you're not doing things quickly. ואמרו חז"ל, זריזין מקדימים למצוות. Now, if you take this, זריזים מקדימים למצוות, in other words, before you're going to do mitzvah, we always say zrizim, a first one, right? Yeah. That's the pshat. However, if we're going to think about what we said before, based on Lushi, Mahari, Lushi, so zrizim, if you want to do a mitzvot, first of all, you need to be zariz. You cannot do a mitzvot if you're not zariz, mister. And that's by the way in Masechet. Psachim, Daf, Dalet. ומי שעושה מעזב בזריזות, he says the אורחות צדיקים, whoever does his action in quickness and agility, יש בזה הוכחה גדולה, there is a great proof שהוא אוהב את בוראו. Don't tell me you love God when you are too lethargic to do his mitzvot. It just doesn't make sense. I've yet to see a regular person, who is lethargic on doing Avera, right? And is quick to do mitzvot. Usually it's the other way around. When it comes to mitzvot, we're like, we can't move. Comes to do Avera, boom, we're out of the window. We're out of here. All right, let's go. It's crazy. So, it says, Ki הזריזות תלויה בלב האדם. That depends on your heart, how pure your heart is. כשהאדם מפנה ליבו מכל המחשבות האחרות שיש בו. When a person cleanses his heart from all the other, thoughts that he has in his hand. Why did he do this to me? Why this? Why do I get out of it? Why I don't get out of it? In other words, you clean yourself out. ותופס מחשבה אחת, and you're only holding to one thing. אז הוא מזדרש בלא ספק. If you're going to hold to one thing, listen, we are going to die one day. We don't have time to waste here. Let's do what we need to do. That by itself will be a good catalyst for you to start moving. כמו כן עשה אברהם. That's what Avraham Avinu did. But Avraham Avinu, הסיר מליבו אהבת בנו. He removed from his heart the love for his son, right? ואחז רצון בוראו. And that's why he held to God's will. Yes, I love my son, but that right now should not interfere with what God wants me to do. And because of that, the pasuk says, "Al ken nizdarez leashkim b'Avraham." Right? It said, "Vayashkem Avraham baboker." Should say Avraham yashkem baboker. No, Vayashkem Avraham baboker comes to teach us that he was up before it was time to do the mitzvah. He was already ready. That's why I told you many times. You need to come to work at 9 o'clock, you need to be there at 5 to. So at 9 you're already working. You don't get there at 10 and start working at 9:30. At 9 and start working at 9:30. Right? This is something like this. And that's what Avraham says. ואתה צריך לדעת. And now it's so fantastic. You should know, in other words, us, כי מידת הזריזות היא תחילת כל המידות. Before you're going to talk about any other qualities that you should have, Rachum, Chanun, this. First of all, you have to be zariz. כי אין האדם יכול להיות תדיר על הספר, כי צריך לאכול ולשתות ולישון ולעשות צרכיו. A person cannot learn with no end. You need to eat, you need to drink, you need to do whatever you need to do. לכן צריך להיות זריזות ומהירות. Therefore, whatever you do quickly. Now you're in the middle of learning. Eat quickly, finish eating, quickly go to learn. Of course, it'll be better if you learn while you eat, but that's not really learning. But so, for you to do is sit down, finish eating quickly. Don't take, I have a lunch break. There's a lunch break. What do you mean lunch break? You have to do it quickly. ואל יחשוב האדם בליבו, a person should not think in his heart, the יום גדול. They still have the whole day ahead of me. Hashana, the year. We just started the year. I'll get to it. Why? On that, אמר רבי פנחס בן יאיר, זריזות מביאה לידי נקיות. And of course, that's the Mesilat Yesharim. You should look into that as well. You want to be your actions. You want to be actions clean, Habibi. You got to be zariz. בוא וראה כמה גדול כוח הזריזות. What's the power of this מידה of זריזות? שמביאה לידי המידות הטובות הללו, that will bring you to good measures. לכן יהיה אדם זהיר וזריז לכל המצוות. Any mitzvah that you have in front of you, הבא לידך מצווה, אל תחמיצנה. A mitzvah doesn't mean just an action. When we have a mitzvah, means it's also how you're going to do it. Quickly. And what's your attitude? Can't wait to do it. וצריך לרוץ אל הספר ללמוד להשכים ולהריב. You have to run to yeshiva. You can't come late to yeshiva. You have to come early, on time. ויהיה זריז לבקש שלום. And you should be quick. And you should pursue peace and harmony. ולרדוף אחריו. And you pursue it. שנאמר בקש שלום ורדפהו. לרדוף is to give chase. Whatever you need to do. You are not important. What is important is the harmony of Am Yisrael. You got insulted, drink cold water and move on. I'll give you aspirin if all you know. But move on. רדפהו, you need to chase after it. והזריזות ומידת הזריזות היא תכשיט לכל המידות. The midah of זריזות is a jewel for all your other qualities. That's the jewel, that's your crown jewel. מידת הזריזות. והיא מתקנת את כולן. And that will fix any other midah that you have. If you're zariz, it's going to fix it. As it says in Sefer Tehillim, Perek למד ד'. ויהיה זריז לבקש ידיעת התורה וידיעת הבורא יתברך. You should be very, very quick and agile. And do not procrastinate. To seek after knowing the Torah and knowing what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is all about. Rabotai, this is different than being quick and careless. Here we are pursuing, we are looking to engage in contact with something that is great to us in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore you cannot hesitate. When you engage, boom, right in. You leave stuff behind like this, you're going to fail on your mission. Engage to contact. Pursue it. And when you do it, hit it with all your power. Hit it until the mission is done. Whatever needs to be done. But never hold any greatness to yourself, because it all comes from Hashem. And with this, first of all, we'd like to wish you all Shabbat Shalom. But before that, we'd like to make a Mishnah Barach Avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak v'Yaakov, Moshe v'Aaron, ישלח ברכה ורפואה שלמה לכל חולי ישראל וכל הפצועים וכל השבויים, והקדוש ברוך הוא should bring all the captives back home to us, happy and healthy. והקדוש ברוך הוא ישלח ברכה ורפואה שלמה לכל מי שצריך, והקדוש ברוך הוא also should have a bracha לאחינו בני ישראל, our brothers and sisters, the residents of our holy land, לאחינו בני ישראל, and our brothers and sisters who seek their wealth and seek their security and they guard them. HaKadosh Baruch Hu shall help them and guide them and preserve them from any harm's way. Amen. And bring them home in peace. Amen. And Am Yisrael should be in harmony. וכל העולם ישכון לבטח וכן יהי רצון ונאמר אמן. שבת שלום.